Human labor and sex trafficking is a reality here in Connecticut, and according to FBI statistics, it's on the rise. NBC Connecticut's Amber Diaz spoke with two local women who were once trafficked and now spend their time helping other victims.
We know the famous faces of the accused. But it's not the people in the spotlight, but in the shadows that make the notion of human trafficking far too real.
I'm suffering the consequences of familial child labor trafficking.
One of my friends, she asked me how many guys I had sex with. And I honestly looked at her and I said, I have no clue.
Both of these women were forced and coerced into trafficking, what's known as modern-day slavery.
Your housing was controlled, or your food. I like to wear this kind of puffy sleeve because it reminds me of Cinderella, because that is how I felt as a kid. Cinderella, like a house slave, and that's the best way to describe it.
Ashley Fawn's trafficker was her mother, making her work at her mother's daycare for free. She says the worst part for her was the secrecy.
I'm 40 years old, and that's been the hardest thing.
I got out because I went to jail, and that's really not the way you want to do it.
Erin Langston was 26 years old when she was sex trafficked. She was doing drugs at the time. She says sex trafficking fed her habit.
I would go get high and just numb it all away.
Special Agent Edward McConkey says it's hard to know the exact statistics of human trafficking because it's a crime that often goes underreported.
And sometimes victims don't even see themselves as victims, so they're slow to report or speak with law enforcement.
In Connecticut, FBI data shows most victims of sex trafficking are between the ages of 10 and 19. And the stats show that often the trafficker knows the victim.
I want people to understand that it's not always just some guy that you don't know that does this to you. Like, this was a guy that was supposed to be my boyfriend.
It's a very, very painful reminder of my childhood because it's still happening.
As for Langston, she's now 6 years sober.
I had a dream that if I went back out and used, I was gonna die. And I don't wanna die. I'm not ready to die. You know? I'm just now starting to enjoy my life.
Both women now work with others who've been trafficked.
Sometimes that's all you need, is that, like, unconditional acceptance and just love and realizing, like, you're worthy of that. You know, everything that's happened is not an indication of your value.
And that was Amber Diaz reporting. We have more statistics on human trafficking here in Connecticut right now on the NBC Connecticut app.